Good Friday morning, my friends. TJF. Congratulations. First full week of Mercury retrograde in the bag. We got this. It's been a week. I know that many people are really struggling, which I figured was going to happen because we had such a bumpy start into September. I'm not going to get better this week. So we need to be prepared for that. But we'll get into that. So today I'm going to be doing a reading for September 18th to the 24th. Next week, we have a kind of a turning point. In the last couple of readings, so was it last week or the week before, where we had a lot of readings like back to back? No, it was last week because I did the Virgo, the Mercury retrograde, the weekly reading. And I said that we're looking at a turning point. And I think even going back even further into the angel reading the week before, we started to see the world card come in. Next week, we do have a natural turning point. And I said, guys, that things are going to keep kind of building to that turning point. Well, that happens next week. We have the fall equinox coming in. Comes in on the Thursday. At the same time, of course, we've got that shift of our zodiac guardian. We are going to be going into Libra. So we're going from a very usually groundish style Virgo, that think eight of Pentacles, that attention to detail. That's very much a Virgo card. Into, well, kind of a more shifty and shifting Virgo or a Libra, which is more in the swords. And I'm kind of getting the 7 of Swords right now. So things that we have to keep in mind as we go into next week. So for this reading, I brought out, it's a beautiful deck. It's called the Witch's Tarot. I don't bring it out a lot because there are a lot of cards that have really subtle, you can kind of see it there. There's a subtle backgrounds and it doesn't always pick up with the lights in the camera. With it, I am pairing it with the Energy Oracle. Very, very stable and foundational. We need kind of very clear, stable information, as next week is going to, again, be a bit, well, jumpy. Let's get into next week. What can my friends expect from the week of September 18th through the 24th? Which gives us the last full technical week of September, as October 1st is the following Saturday. So next week I'll be reading into Saturday or into October already, which is kind of crazy, but at the same time, yay, because October 2nd is when Mercury goes direct. I love it. The Lovers. And you can kind of see Archangel, it's supposed to be Archangel Raphael at the top there. The Lovers, of course, is the 6th card in the Major Arcana. And we're looking at that balance, that relationship, that connection, and communication. Now, the challenge being is that communication is the challenge, right? We've got Mercury in retrograde. That conflict is going to be there. So for my friends who are in a relationship, know that next week is going to be a bit of a bear for it. You're going to have to be very mindful of your partner. For those who are looking at relationships, next week is not a good week. We do have that shifting of the guard. We do have a lot of things in play. Be aware of who comes up next week, because that communication is, you're starting a relationship off with really wonky communication. There's not going to be a good balance there, so you need to be mindful of that. So be aware. We need that balance, not only in our relationship, but ourselves. The more balanced we are, the more we're able to think about these things. We're not so reactive. Adding to that, the 6 of Wands. We've got multiple sixes back to back, which really amplifies what I just said, that balance. So when you have multiple sixes like this, the angels are telling you to balance your time and energy between the physical and spiritual. Balance is essential. Well, really highlighting that. In tarot, sixes are about balance. Angels are telling you, hey, balance that physical and spiritual, balance that life. And it's more than just one or two balls. It's more like a ball pit of balls that we're trying to balance. Easier said than done, absolutely. However, know that it's going to be essential for us to be victorious. We need to use our head. We need to use that passion, that willpower, that drive to push us forward, push us through, and help us persevere through these challenges. Now, I don't do this all the time, but I'm going to do it this week. What is the biggest challenge that my friends will face for the week of, what was it, the 19th? I took down my calendar. The 18th through the 24th. Unfortunately, it blocks the chat, so I can't see if someone's asked me a question. So I don't like it to be up the whole reading. Okay. Oh, yep. She's been around in the last couple of weeks. We've seen a lot of her. The Queen of Swords. Now, the Queen, she's the queen that, well, has learned everything, which is a vast amount, through firsthand experience, through those hard knocks. She gets herself up, dusts herself off, learns, that's an important piece, learns from what happened, and starts to break patterns. Hence why she has that sword of truth. It is standing upright. It is ready to go. She's your challenge. It's going to be learning, breaking patterns, dusting self off, getting self going. That's going to be the hardest part. We're not going to have that energy of victory. We're going to have that energy of pity party. Not helpful at all. Additionally, the Queen herself has another persona. She's the Ice Queen. We are more likely to try and put a layer of an ice wall in between us and the world, secluding ourselves, hermiting ourselves, trying to protect ourselves. That's not going to help. That's actually going to cause more challenges. You're going to find that the communication, that understanding is, well, lost entirely because you have this big ice wall. So be very, very mindful of how you're reacting and how you're trying to, quote unquote, protect ourselves. Do we want energy protection? Absolutely. However, we don't want a brick or like an ice wall in between us. Sure, we can kind of see through the ice. It does obscure things a bit. It will semi-protect us from the energies. However, it's not a good energy protection. I do have a meditation in my Just You and Me playlist that is a good energy protection. That will help you. Ice Queen, not so much. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I give you guys the guidance and tools to support you in moving yourself forward. So I do have, I think, 3-4 meditative playlists. I've got mindfulness playlists. I've got healing playlists. These are tools for you guys to use as you need. And they are all guided. They're all supported. So they are easy to use and reuse. And that protection will help, especially as we go throughout the week. Let's get into this week. What can my friends expect from the beginning part of the week? Now, this is the tail end of Virgo, and we're looking at also a big chunk. Speaking of queens, the queen is going to be laid to rest. Well, that in itself is going to give us a very almost like tidal wave of emotions. Even if you are not connected in, if she wasn't your queen, it's going to impact those around you. It's a global piece. It doesn't matter what country you're from, what your background is. She was known. The Queen of England was known. Many of us thought she was immortal. But she was well known. People around you will be mourning. So there will be a wave. And it's kind of building because she's in that state where she's traveling around England and the United Kingdom. It's building. And until she is put to rest, it's going to build. Additionally, we have a change of monarch. People are unsure. They're a little bit fearful. So those energies are going to be impacting and kind of compounded in the Mercury retrograde energy. Should turn the card. The Seven of Cups. Like I said, things are being shrouded. They're being manipulated. There's a lot of uncertainty. We need to be very mindful of how we're going forward. We do need to use our head. Yes, we need to break patterns. We need to learn from experiences. So using our tools to support us in overcoming some of these challenges. And we don't want to, like I said, try and protect ourselves by putting that barrier up. We need to be able to move, experience, and learn. And there's your move, experience, and learn. The Eight of Cups. So like I said, no matter how things are going to impact you at the beginning of the week, whether you were impacted by her passing, and for those of my friends who are, my heart and condolences. I can let the masses know she passed very peacefully, and her loving husband was there and took her hand. It was very kind and gentle. She was a very powerful woman who did inspire many of us in very different ways. I'm interested to see how she transitions, what's going to happen next for her. I don't know if there's been a lot of chatter, if she's going to be one of the next masters, the ascended masters. I don't know. That's going to be kind of a wait and see. Will she be one that will consult and support people? Absolutely. So that's it. We do need to be very mindful this week on how not only things are impacting us, but where our resistances are. Okay? Because that resistance, we are going to have that uncertainty here. We have the Seven of Cups. We have the Eight of Cups. Well, we have to be mindful of where that resistance is. Is that stuff that you're holding on to, and that resistance is something that is triggering your ego and is needed? Or is it information and stuff that you're resisting because you're not sure? My recommendation, write it down, reflect on it. That's where we get that reflection on the Eight of Cups. We don't want to hermit ourselves. We don't want to do those inner journeys right now. A little bit of reflection. How is it? Why is this triggering me? What's this about? Right? And then if you can't say right away, put it in your spiritual binder. For my new friends here, I do encourage people to have a binder. And I mean old school. Mine's always close at hand because I always get weird stuff coming through. Whoa, taking a light out with it. Binder. This is one of my binders. Have it close at hand. Especially during Mercury retrograde, computers are not your friend. Information will get lost. Your phone, all of a sudden, you're writing down these great ideas, these documents, these numbers, these whatevers, and then you go back and it's gone. Yeah. High vibration and low vibration can impact electronic technology. So can the energies of Mercury retrograde. So I encourage you, go old school, pencil, pen, write it down. Then you don't have to obsess over it. We don't want to get stuck. We want that knowledge, and we're going to use it maybe now or maybe in the future. Just have it down. Now, we do have double cups here. Mind the emotion. Be aware of it. These cards talk about uncertainty. They talk about awareness. Be aware of what's yours and what's not. Because like I said, especially during the beginning of the week, people are going to be flooded with that loss, the grief, the pain. That's not going to be helpful. So be aware of that and keep your emotions in check, because it helps you stay more, well, balanced and in control of you. That's one of the things that we can control is ourselves. Okay, so let's go into the middle of the week. This is where we are going to start to transition into the Libra energy. And this is a shifting energy of air. So that knowledge. What can my friends expect from the middle of the week? Now, just so you guys know, Tuesday, of course, you guys are going to be getting my normal posting for my new friends. Tuesday, I like to post healings or meditations. That's when they are usually posted, is Tuesday. I have a fantastic communication. Go back to that angel there, not with Archangel Raphael, but Archangel Sandalphon. So that will be posted on Tuesday. I am aware that on Saturday we are having a new moon. Later in the week, I'm thinking projecting Thursday, I'm going to be posting another healing. So you guys get a double dose this week of a new moon healing for you guys. So that's going to be needed. Right on cue, we've got the Four of Wands. This is a rite of passage card. This is a stability card. This is a passion card. It's landed slap dab, first card up on the middle of the week, right as we transition into Libra. We do have that rite of passage. If we are so caught up in emotion, in stagnation, in putting up that, I'm just going to punch the queen there, putting up that ice wall, we will miss this. We won't have the passion. We won't have the stability to go through and embrace that next stage. So know that we need that. We need the Four for stability. We need that wand, that inner flame, that willpower, that drive, that passion, that zhuzh to help us step through. And big piece here, celebrate, not fear, celebrate this next step. Thank you. Yes. Oh, come on. You can do it. Come on, camera. I know it's Mercury retrograde, but there we go. Sort of. This is strength. I love the lion. She's no longer trying to close his jaws. He's just like, I love you. Here I am. So the strength card talks about using your abilities, your skills in your way. We can't cookie cutter this. What works for some person may not work for you. You need to do you in your own way. Sure, we want feedback, we want information and insight from our friends and family, but we can't do it their way. We need to make it our own, because this rite of passage is very much your own passage, your own journey. It does not matter, and I've worked with identical twins. They have very parallel lives. Sometimes I've worked with identical twins had like two very diverse lives, but they may walk parallel, but it's not exact. They have different skills. They have different abilities that they brought into this lifetime, and they need to use them in their own way. Now, I do have double sevens here. Or sorry, this is the 8th card, double 8s. I was like, I know I have a multiple here. Double 8s. With the multiple 8s, the angels are telling you that something prosperous and abundant is coming your way. A rite of passage card, right? You need to stay true to you and keep going. Where the queen is a problem, the king, not so much. He's here to help, guys. So we have the everyday personification of the emperor coming in and hitting hard as we go into the Libra energy. he is going to come up again. That Libra, that's all about knowledge. That King of Swords, dude, he is Mr. Spock incarnate. We need to use our head. We need that structure. We need that stability. We need to use that head of ours, that frontal cortex, which means keeping those emotions in check, using, again, our abilities, our skills, our talents, our tools to help us, like the meditations, got lots of them. Healings, got them, use them. They're free. I'm not a monetized channel. Crystals, if you are a crystal person, anything that's going to connect in with our root chakra will help keep us stable. Oh, words are hard and impossible during Mercury retrograde. So crystals like, this is my favorite and personal preference, Tiger Iron, IRON. It has the red and black hue. It is fantastic for the grounding and stability. It helps to really bring in, oh, here's another piece. I use a lot of polished crystals just because I do a lot of healings. So the raw crystals can aggravate the skin. They can cause owies and pains. But you can get like black. This is some obsidian. Easy, right? To help with the termination and the go. This is citrine. Okay. And then also if you're really struggling with trying to stay in control of these emotions, amethyst. It's the very purple. This is actually a light purple. Well, I don't know if I have a really dark purple, but it's the purple crystal that is readily available everywhere. You could also use, and I've got it, pink quartz, the rose quartz, helps with that emotion. So using your tools. If you are more of a scent person, let's say you have a diffuser or an essential oil person, anything earthy, cinnamon, fantastic. It helps to keep that stability. You could add something like cinnamon and a little bit of lemon. So you're getting that stability and that's stimulation of your solar plexus chakra. Again, we need to use our head. What works for you? That's the important piece. If it works for you, use it. It needs to be positive. It needs to keep you in that high vibration, which means staying up in that frontal cortex. So you're able to think things through. You're able to use your creativity to create solutions. Let's head off into the end of the week. What can my friends expect from the end of the week? Now, of course, we're into Libra. We are into, well, we still have another week of Mercury retrograde, but we're getting into our footing again. And for my friends who are, they have Libra and or Virgo in their astrological birth charts, because we're more than just that zodiac that we look up in our horoscope. We're much more than that. We have three main, and I say three main, it can be more than that, but we have three. We have the sun, your sun sign, your moon sign, and your ascender. There are many, many free websites that will get you your astrological birth chart. You need to know when you were born. You need to know where you were born and preferably what time you were born. So it will tell you where stuff was in the sky when you were born. If you've got Virgo or Libra in your chart, please make sure that you are very aware of your emotions, this change, and what tools you're going to need, because it can get a little bit more dicey. End of the week, we're headed into the 5 of Wands. I just said it's going to get dicey for my Libra Virgo friends. Check that. Everybody needs to be checking into where they're at, what they need, and what's going to help them stay up in their frontal cortex. We become reactive. We let that emotion flood through. We are going to be less productive. We are going to have more challenges and cause ourselves more heartache and pain. So making sure that we know that this conflict is coming in. Making sure that we're not carrying it home to our family, to our friends, to our pets. Guys, pets are being really impacted. So making sure that we're conscious of what we're carrying. If you're really worried about your energies and you do have lots of little ones at home, you have even elderly at home, that they're impacted and they may not have the words anymore to tell you what's going on. Put some selenite. You can get selenite rods. They're just little thin rods that you can put at the top of your door jambs, on the top of your windowsills. You can have that. It will help. For you, make sure that you are dumping these energies. The easiest and most practical way I've ever been able to tell people to dump energies is through the use of water. So if you are on the go and you're having a hard week or you're having a hard meeting, dump the energies. Go into the bathroom or a kitchen and run your hands under water. If they're heavy energies, if they're anxious energies, if they are sad energies, you can dump them that way. After work, you may want to go take a quick shower, take a bubble bath, nurture you, especially at the end of the week, because we do have that full moon coming in, and that full moon energy wants to nurture you. Do what's going to help you to overcome the challenges so that you are able to have that victory. Enjoy that passion, because there is an underlying energy of passion this week. We don't want to forget that, because we've got the heat of the lovers and then the heat of the wands. That passion is going to be easy to miss. Going back to the wands. Well, actually, we're still on the wands. The 5 of wands, now the 2 of wands. We can have the world at our hands. We can make some amazing choices and amazing movement forward if we are in control of us, if we are aware and present in the here and now, especially at the end of the week. For my friends who are really on the ball and who are really working on it, and they're feeling it, and they're able to maintain and manage that emotion, those energies, the end of the week is a fantastic time to do some manifesting. We've got a lot of passion. We've got that world at our hands. Take some time. We've got prosperity. You can do it if you're up here using that intuition, using our frontal cortex, and you are grounded and stable. That stability is going to be harder to maintain this week, so be aware of that. You may have to dump energies. You may have to ground as you go this week. That's why I said, like, tiger iron is my favorite. If you can't find it, any black crystal, any red crystal. And if you need, carry a couple. Also, the end of the week, making sure that you take time with that new moon energy to help with that healing, help with that dumping of energies, because it's going to be there. All right. Anything else? Nope. Oh, well, the 2 of wands also really reminds us of that balance. We've got the 2 of wands. We've got a lot of doubles here. So the angels are reminding you to maintain that balance and to stay in control of you. All right. What further supports can we share with my friends so that they can get the most out of the week ahead? Really reminding you guys, this is a week where you can succeed. You can accomplish a lot. You're just going to need to stay in the present, which can be hard because we like to get caught up in the what ifs of the future and the pains of the past. So making sure that we're very conscious of where our state of mind is and where our energies are being sent. Like I just said, being mindful of those energies, being mindful of that balance. But also, because this is the magician and the mirror, being mindful that you're not just minimizing your needs, that you're dealing with everybody else. This week, because we've got so much in play, think of it as that airline. You need to put your mask on to take care of you before you help others. So strengthening you and making sure you feel strong enough to help others, to get through your day. Because it can and it will be taxing. But know that there's happiness and joy. We've got the 4 here. We've got that happy family. And I've said this before on my channel, family does not mean your birth family. Family is what you make of it. These are the positive, supportive people who celebrate and enjoy you. We have a celebration card here in the 4 and that 4, connecting in very much with that 4 of Wands, that rite of passage, that celebration, that happiness. Don't minimize it and don't forget it. Embrace it. It will help fuel you and really bring these amazing wands that we have all over the place, that it's going to burn brighter. Additionally, we now have multiple 4s. With multiple 4s, the angels are encouraging you to ground and focus in on that foundation. It's going to help. It's going to help with that growth. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today. I hope that this helps to embrace and understand what you can expect next week. Know that you are in control of you and you have the ability to make the shifts and changes where you need. Change can sometimes be really scary, so take it slow. Make those small shifts that create the change that you want. Now, if you did like my reading, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, as it does help people find me on the city of YouTube. More importantly for you, please don't forget to subscribe. Next week, I have 2 healing and meditation. I've got the Libra reading coming in and a weekly reading. So I've got lots coming forward in the next week. The next week's ahead, the month, I've got lots coming up. So subscribing and hitting that bell will help you stay in the know of what's happening on my channel. Now, if you want an added layer of support, I do have a Patreon page where I give in even more supports, more tools that will help you. I've provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out? Again, I want to thank you for joining me today. And until tomorrow, my friends,